Hello children, how are you doing? I hope you all are fine. Today's topic is tracing changes through 1,000 years. And I'm here again, your teacher, Mrs. Leena, who will tell you about topic relevant है आपका? क्या आपने इस बारे में पढ़ा हुआ है? Yes, I'm going to tell you about this topic tracing changes through 1,000 years. तो कैसे कैसे changes आए, क्या हुआ, आइए इसके बारे में पढ़ते हैं. Are you people ready? Let's proceed with this. The period beginning from the 8th century AD and ending in the 18th century AD is considered to be in the Middle Age. It comprises of nearly 1,000 years and was known as the medieval period in Indian history. Medieval India, what do maps represent? Do you know? Okay, let's have a look. Look at the two maps given here. The first one was made by Al-Idrishi and an Arab geographer in 1154 CE, and it gives a detailed picture of the Indian subcontinent. Later, in 1720, Later in 1720, a cartographer gave an improved version of Indian subcontinent. In the first map, North India is at the bottom and Sri Lanka is at the top. Some well-known places like canoes are shown in the map in Arabic languages. Can you see this map, students? Okay. So now in the second map, the Indian subcontinent is shown as it is now. It gives us information about the coastal areas. European traders came to India by using this map. The art of cartography in two different periods was different and was produced in two different contexts in which the map was made. New and old historical terminologies. तो आप नया मैप और पुराना क्या differences हैं इनमें? Let's try to know about. The records of history exist in a number of languages. For example, medieval Persian is different from modern Persian. The term Hindustan was used by Minhaj-e-Siraj, a chronicle writer in the 13th century, to describe areas of Punjab, Haryana and the land between Ganga and Yamuna. The writer used the word to describe areas under Delhi Sultanate. It did not include South India. Later in the 16th century, Barber used the word Hindustan in reference to the culture, fauna and geography of the inhabitants of this period. Later in the 14th century, Amir Khusro used the word Hind to describe what we call in modern times as India. Technologies have changed with time. Thus, the word foreigner is used differently today. It means a person who is not of Indian, है ना, जो हमारे देश का नहीं है, इंडिया का नहीं है, उसे हम foreigner ही बोलते हैं ना. While in medieval period, the word was used for any stranger in a village. जब कोई गांव में, किसी गांव में कोई stranger हुआ करता था. Likewise in Hindi, a foreigner was called परदेसी. याद है आपको? जब हमारे गांव का कोई व्यक्ति नहीं है तो हम उसे बोलते हैं ना, परदेश से आया है, परदेसी है. सो हिंदी में इस वर्ड को, फॉरेनर वर्ड को परदेसी कहा जाता था, जो पहले गांव में यूज़ होता था कि जो हमारे गांव का नहीं है उसके लिए. In Persian, as Punjabi people living in the same village were not foreigners, while someone from a different village was called a foreigner. Sources of history. The medieval Indian history has, had several sources: coins, inscriptions, architecture, textual records are some major resources of knowledge about Mughal India. तो इतनी सारी चीज़ें हैं उस मुग़ल पीरियड के बारे में जानने के लिए. द टेक्सचुअल रिकॉर्ड्स रिप्लेस्ड अदर sources of history, holy text, chronicles of rulers, letters, teachings of saints, judicial and accounting records were written. This became widely prevalent as paper became cheaper and widely available in the 14th century. Manuscripts were kept in kitab khana, archives and libraries. Scribes copied manuscripts so that records could be kept on a large scale. No doubt, certain scribes, changed sentences and records of original record. These were restored by historians by using original manuscripts. Chronicles, as written by Jauddin Barani in 1356 or by Abul Fazl like Akbar-e-Nama between 1565 and 1585 contributed significantly to the growth of history. तो बच्चों ये सब ईयर्स आपको लिखना है, अंडरलाइन करना है एंड नाम याद रखने हैं so that it would not be difficult for you to revise. Make a chart, make a column where you have to write the years along with that names. New social and political groups, the medieval India history saw many new developments. In social economic fields, for irrigation it was Persian wheel, for weaving the spinning wheel, and in combat firearms had been developed during this period. Items never eaten before like potatoes and corn and beverages like tea and coffee were now in common use. Due to greater mobility, new groups emerged in this period. One such group was that of the Rajputs, which derived their origin from Rajputras. This term was used for the Kshatriyas, caste warriors, and included rulers, chieftains and commanders and soldiers of monarch all over the subcontinent. With them, other groups which emerged were Marathas, Sikhs, Ahoms, Jats and Kayathas, and with gradual deforestation land was reclaimed for cultivation. It led to change in habitat of forest dwellers. They became peasants and became a part of large complex society. Some peasants had more land and some more cattle, and other participated in artisanal activities. All the peasants had to pay taxes to local lords. All the peasants had to pay taxes to local lords. As society got specialized, people were grouped into caste, jatis and subcastes. Ranks were varied according to power and influence of the जाति members. तो जिसको जो रैंक दिया गया वो उसके लेवल के अकॉर्डिंग, उसकी पावर के अकॉर्डिंग दिया गया. Each जाति had its own rules and regulation and would manage conduct of its members. The regulations were implemented by an assembly of elders called Jati Panchayat. Likewise, jatis were supposed to follow rules of their villages. Several villages were ruled by a chieftain. Together, they made only one small unit of a village. तो अपने अपने बेटा पंचायत के rules हुआ करते थे. उन rules को villagers को follow करना पड़ता था. Right, बच्चा? Now you can see this map, right? Now I am going to tell you about regions and empire. The medieval India basically had two dynasties, the Sultans and the Mughals. Both of them controlled northern parts of India from Bengal in East Ghazni and in Afghanistan on the west. Some rulers like Balban even extended up to South India. The poet Amir Khusro in 1318 wrote that India had many languages. These included Sindhi, Lahori, Kashmiri, Dwar Samudri, Telangani, Gujri, Mabari, and Gori, Awadhi, and Hindavi. There were several specific dynasties ruling in several parts of the country. Occasionally, some dynasties like Khaljis, Tughlaqs, Mughals and Cholas established pan-regional empires, but all were non-equal in size. But all were non-equal in size when the Mughal Empire started declining. जब इसका decline होना शुरू हुआ, it led to emergence of regional powers. All the states left distinct legacies of governance, economy, culture and language. During the entire medieval history, all these regional forces experienced the deep influence regional forces of integration without ever quite losing their distinct identity. Now, old and new religions. Religions, traditions witnessed major developments during medieval history. People's faith in divinity was personal, but generally it was collective. Collective faith in a supernatural power was linked with socio-economic organization of local communities. Major changes took place in Hinduism in this period. New deities, temple patronized by royal power and importance to Brahmins was predominant. The knowledge of Sanskrit and royal patronage enhanced the prestige of Brahmins. तो उनकी बहुत ज़्यादा महत्व और उनकी बहुत उनके लिए सम्मान को बढ़ा दिया गया. One major development during the period was emergency of Bhakti movement, a tradition where the devotees could worship a deity without the help of priest and rituals. तो वहाँ पर पुजारी या रिचुअल्स के बिना हेल्प के वहाँ पे एक भक्ति मूवमेंट स्टार्ट हुआ, जहाँ ट्रेडिशन डिवोटीज वहाँ पे वर्शिप के लिए पूजा किया करते थे. एक और ऐसा मूवमेंट, ऐसा मेजर डेवलपमेंट शुरू हुआ. Just like Hinduism, the new rulers, merchants and migrants brought a new religion with them. It was the holy religion of Islam brought by Muslim of India. Muslims regard Quran as their holy book. As you people know, है ना, कुरान पढ़ा जाता है उनके द्वारा, and believe in the supremacy of one God, Allah, whose love and mercy embraces all without any regard to social origin. Theologists, rulers and ulmas patronized Islam. Two groups emerged in Islam. One included these of Shia Muslims who regard Prophet Muhammad son-in-law Ali as their legitimate leader, while the other group was of Sunnis who accepted the sovereign power of early Khalifa and succeeding Khalifas. Likewise, the various schools of Islamic law, Hanafi and Shafi, also differed in theology and mystic traditions. How important are historical periods? Historians do not see passing events in terms of a clock or calendar. They view the socio-economic changes and changes in society which characterize that period. वो उसी सोशियो इकोनॉमिक जो चेंजेस थे उसको उस सोसाइटी के पीरियड के अकॉर्डिंग ही उन्होंने डिफाइन किया. एंड द ब्रिटिश हिस्टोरियंस कैटेगराइज्ड इंडियन हिस्ट्री इनटू 3 periods. One is Hindu, another is Muslim, and third one is British period. Their division is based only on religious differences, and they ignore the rich diversity which prevailed in the subcontinent. The 1,000 years prevalent during the medieval period was quite insignificant, as it was end of pastoral and forest people and growth of Hinduism, Islam and settled life. Later when the British arrived, the history took a new turn. तो सब कुछ बदल ही गया भारत में. It was linked to modernity and material progress, which was lacking in the medieval period, but this is not true totally. The Indian economy prospered during the medieval period. उस टाइम पे जो इंडियन इकोनॉमिक थी बहुत ही prosperous थी. It was this prosperity which led European trading companies to set footsteps in India, changing the entire history. Right बच्चों? I hope आपने बहुत enjoy किया होगा चैप्टर पढ़ते हुए. Now so student, now let's do the exercises. Very first question, objective type questions. What we have to do in the first one? Akbar-e-Nama as was written by Abul Fazl. Yes, all the peasants had to pay taxes to greater lords. And the C part, the medieval India basically had two dynasties. Which one? Yes, Sultan and the Mughal dynasties. Right, bachcho. The records of history exist in a number of which one? The languages. Okay, the writer used the word to describe areas under Delhi Sultanate. The medieval Indian history had many resources. Now in second question we have to write T for true and F for false statement. So the number one is ranks were dependent on jati of caste members. Is that true? Yes, it's true. Bhakti movement emerged in ancient India. It's false. 17th century is a part of Middle Age in history. It's wrong. Amir Khusro coined the word Hindustan. No, it's wrong. So now we have the next step, fill in the blanks. So now we have fill in the blanks. The textual dash replaced other sources of history. The textual records replaced other sources of history. Two groups as you have read in chapter. We कौन सा group थे? Sunny and Shipa. Now we have major changes took place in medieval period, right? And some languages dash and were some languages which existed in India in 1380. So in the period of Sindhi language, Lahori language, Kashmiri language, Telangana language, these all were languages which were being used in that time. Fine. Question number 4, match the following. What you have to do, you have to match the column A with column B. So the number 1, modern times. The modern times goes by India, and Abul Fazl, this will go by Akbar-e-Nama, and Babar, the third one goes by Hindustan, and the Ganga goes by Yamuna, and Minhaj-e-Siraj, this will go by Hindustan, and Amir Khusro, this will go by Hind. Right? Okay, in fifth question, bacho, you have to give reasons. European trading companies came to India because of prosperity in medieval India. So you have to give reason for this. Find out the reason from your chapter and give it. Now you have answered the following questions. You have to just check the answers of these questions in your chapter, relevant to your chapter. These questions are given. Just go through the chapter and write these answers in your notebook. Like, for example, who were the first two people to make a map of India and what did they depict? Right? So likewise, you have to do all the questions. Now it's fun time. Fun time says that you have to write a short note on new social and political group. So students, you have read this chapter very with passion and with interest. So now it's a time to revise the chapter, go through the chapter once again, write the important information and have fun, enjoy.